As the 2020s have progressed, delivery apps like Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, and DoorDash have exploded in popularity.
Yes, they are.
If you use these apps frequently, you've probably had an experience just like me since COVID started. You're not in the mood for anything particular that night, so you scroll through restaurant after restaurant looking for something that'll catch your eye.
Isn't like
one restaurant finally does, but not because it's what you're in the mood for. It's because something about this restaurant feels off. The app says it's 0.1 miles away, but you don't
I've never seen that before.
Passing this store or seeing its storefront. And the pictures on the app don't look like a local restaurant near you. They almost look like stock photos. Even the restaurant name doesn't seem like a local family restaurant. It feels like something that would be on a neon sign in a white millennials taco restaurant. Something like Taco Bout It or Love Tacos or You're Tacoing Me Crazy. Now some people might already be aware, as I was, of what these restaurants are. But when I decided to make a video on it, the rabbit hole kept sinking deeper and deeper. So today, I want you to follow me down this rabbit hole of food and restaurants. But I must warn you, it's sticky. So bring a baby wipe or some hand sanitizer or stand next to the sink and keep washing your hands.
all that coom. It's too sticky.
$9.12 on your Monday. From Postmates to Uber Eats, even Grubhub, more people skipping eating.
And now that I think about it, I did order food from something that seemed like that. I mean, it was good, but I've never seen the restaurant before.
The restaurant experience home, but how that food is prepared is getting a big change. More competing companies are now teaming up using ghost kitchens to prepare your meals.
Now, what is a ghost kitchen? Well, the definition can be a little bit broad and too general because the business model is very new and ghost kitchens come in a few different forms. But in YouTuber fashion, I have the Google definition. So apologies, I'm gonna sound for a second like a 8th grader giving a book report. The Google definition of a ghost kitchen is a business operating from low rent or non-commercial premises that prepares food ordered online for delivery directly to customers, which is a true definition, but also doesn't sound like anything specific to me or give me a clear picture of what their business is. However, as I've been researching this video, I've boiled down ghost kitchens coming in mainly 3 different forms. Some take place in something called a virtual restaurant kitchen. Others make their food in mobile trailers, and some are in existing restaurants. But I want to start with virtual restaurant kitchens. So a virtual restaurant
one I'm familiar with is the existing restaurants.
Exclusively sells through delivery apps. The actual building it's made in is a virtual restaurant kitchen that houses many virtual restaurants. And nothing showcases one of these places better than this TikTok I found from a guy named Clayton who is delivering for Uber Eats.
So this is what is called a ghost kitchen. It is a select set of restaurants that are featured. The food's cooked here. As an Uber Eats driver, you come up here, you select your restaurant. Mine was supposed to be Drunken Dumpling, and then my order was Omar here. And what's crazy is, then, for right now, I'm waiting. There's your order board, and then once that's ready, one of these lockers will unlock, and the food will be ready. And this will become our future. I mean, it's already our present, but
dude, that's cool as fuck.
become like all food.
That's so efficient.
Yay, future technology.
Now, there are definitely cases of one person.
That's so cool. Like, dude, ramen shops that use like vending machines where you get a ticket and you buy your ramen. I love that. I love this kind of innovation. I'm sure he's gonna explain to me in a minute why it's bad, but I'm sure in the long run, like whatever the bad reasons, like we can iron that out. This seems cool as fuck.
Virtual restaurant kitchen, but these places are mainly owned by tech startups. So there is a chance that a pizza place that you get delivery food from and a Chinese food place that you also get delivery food from are not 2 separate restaurants, but one kitchen owned by the same company. But I started to wonder how common these places actually were. Could I find one near my neighborhood? And I did. I won't be showing the address, but I sat down at my computer to look at delivery apps until I found a specific address that had had multiple restaurants in it. And if you look here, as I started to go through just Uber Eats as an app, I started to find that this address had a lot of restaurants in it. If I were to ask you what you thought a lot of restaurants running out of one kitchen would be, it kind of depends on how familiar you are with ghost kitchens and virtual restaurants. So you might be thinking, I don't know, 2 is a lot of restaurants. Potentially 4. Could it be like 5 or 6? So I counted the individual restaurants on Uber Eats that came up for this specific address. And I found 10 restaurants running out of the same kitchen. Does that sound like a lot of kitchens to you? Because if it doesn't, I lied. There are 20 restaurants running out of this one location.
I mean, it depends on how many orders you're getting, right? If you're not getting a lot of orders for each individual restaurant, then you have enough storage space to fill in and get all your ingredients and stuff, right? For all the various different things. But if you're getting a gazillion orders, right, for one restaurant, then obviously you're not going to have 20 because you won't be able to store enough ingredients for that.
And if you're thinking to yourself, that's not that many, I lied again. There are 30 restaurants running out of this single location. And one final time, I lied again.
No way.
Are 44 restaurants on Uber Eats that all share this one address.
Is it all just like frozen box food?
Places ranging in completely different cultures and food types. There's a dim sum place. There's a curry place. There's burger places, pasta places, pizza places, chicken and waffles, taco places. And this was actually discovered by my girlfriend, Chrissy. She started looking at individual menus in this one location and finding that some of the items looked really similar. So I picked a random item from one of the restaurants that was featured here. It's a restaurant called The Codfather, and I found a beer-battered cod sandwich for $16.95. And right here it says in the description, it is a beer-battered North Atlantic cod, slaw, red and white cabbage, lemon herb aioli, and a brioche bun. So I looked at another obvious choice at the same address,
that looked good,
at Sunset Beach Fish and Chips. And
that also looks good.
There's a beer battered cod sandwich for $16.95. That is a beer battered North Atlantic cod, slaw, red and white cabbage, lemon herb aioli, and a brioche bun. Interesting.
I don't see the problem though. If you go to like a cafeteria and they have a whole bunch of like, if you go to the DC at a college, right? And they have, my DC had a bunch of food from a bunch of different colleges or from a bunch of different cultures, and it was all ready and prepped, and I loved it. So I don't see the problem. I'm down. If I'm ordering food, maybe I want a dish from this place and that place, and then maybe I want some stir fry, and then maybe I want like a schnitzel, and then, you know, throw in a steak and eggs too, and then some diner food, and then 0% delivery fee. That sounds amazing.
2 separate restaurants on Uber Eats appearing to be
what's the
completely
catch?
Separate businesses selling the same item with the same description for the same price. So I looked at another place that had a beer battered cod for $16.95, same description. And I looked at another place and another place and another place until I had filled up my cart with 9 identical beer battered cod sandwiches. And I'm going to go with Chrissy to pick it up at the same exact location. That's right, we're gonna drive to one kitchen.
It makes you question the quality of the food. I mean, yes, but dude, in America, you should be questioning the quality of the food of every place you're going to, not just these ghost kitchens. I mean, half the country is living off of, you know, Dr. Pepper and McDonald's every day, right? And we're worried about the quality of food because they produce a bunch of different a bunch of different stuff in a ghost kitchen. That's literally the entire, all of fast food, all of the, like, pretty much the entire food industry. You have to question the quality, right? You don't know. When I go to a restaurant, I don't know where they're sourcing their ingredients from. I don't know if it's fresh. I don't know if they stuck it in a freezer, if it's a boxed meal, right? And these ghost kitchens are no different.
To pick up the same sandwich from 9 separate restaurants. By the way, the sandwich is $16.95 for just the sandwich. So I'm about to pay, what's that times 9? I'm gonna do it in a calculator. You can't force me to do math off the top of my head. I could have done it now, but I need to find my phone. All right, so if I just do the quick math on here before fees are involved, I will be paying just $152.55 to potentially try the same sandwich 9 times. So Chrissy and I started the drive. It took about, 20 minutes to get there. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
I was gonna say.
When we pulled up to the restaurant, it had the name Chibo. What confused me is that when you look it up, Chibo is a local restaurant in LA. It's been open since 2002, I believe. But when you look on Google Street View, the storefront used to say Virtual Dining Concepts, which is one of the startups in the ghost kitchen industry. Now, to be honest, as we walked up, I was a little bit nervous because I don't think one of their regular employees would care, but I also doubt somebody has ordered from 9 different restaurants with the same item. The order kind of makes it obvious what I'm doing. So I walked up to him and said, "Hi, we're picking up for like 9 orders under Eddie." And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Do you want me to put it all in one bag? Is that okay?" So we waited for a little bit. Here's us waving, just in case we're saying hello to you, specifically watching. We're waving to you. And then finally, we got the order. So
I gotta get home. Oh.
it seemed so casual. They did not care that we ordered from 9 different places and it was the exact same.
I mean, to them, it's their
drove
everyday,
back,
right?
Bags in hand, left bag hanging lower than the right bag. But before we bust these bags wide open, a quick word from our sponsor. Thank you
My
all
left bag
for
hangs
this
lower than the
press
right bag,
briefing
too.
Today. As many of you already know, I am now the President of the United States because Joe Biden lost to me in a wager match of Overwatch 2. Now that I'll be traveling and doing business all over the world because I'm the new president, our sponsor today, Babbel, is perfect. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world. Its intuitive lessons help you learn a language through real-life conversations. Lessons are designed by real language teachers, and Babbel offers a 20-day money-back guarantee. Joe actually just texted me that he got the app, and he has a little voice message to share with the country.
Lo siento, soy tan malo en Overwatch.
I bet, Joe.
I mean, yeah, it got normalized because of the pandemic. But you gotta think, like, before McDonald's, when McDonald's came out, they were like, wow, all the burgers are the same. Oh, wow, all the fries are uniform shape. It was mind-blowing, right? It was like unbelievable tech, right? And now it's just something we live with, and it's like the norm. It's expected, right? And sure, this is like some, oh my God, 9 sandwiches, 9 different restaurants, right? But like, I mean, with our level of technology and thinking about doing things efficiently, I'm kind of surprised it took this long, you know what I mean? Like, in 10 years from now, not even 10 years from now, 3 years from now, I don't think anyone's going to be questioning it.
I bet. We're friends. Babbel also teaches real-world conversations. Lessons prepare you to have practical conversations about travel, business, relationships, Overwatch 2, and more. If you're going to travel to a country or experience a culture in any way, the best thing you can do is learn their language ahead of time. So click the link in the description for 60% off your subscription. And that's coming from me, Eddie Burback, President.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily normalized by the pandemic itself, but rather online food industry got hyper competitive during the pandemic, and so people started innovating and doing stuff like this.
Of the United States. Now back to the video. When we got back and I started to unpack them, I noticed that all of the packaging was the exact same. All right, so let's start with just 2 of them. I've got the rest of the packages right here, but they also weren't labeled, so I have no idea which 2 restaurants these are from. This could be the Codfather. This could be Sunset Beach. This could even be Burger Bitch. First one is in this wrapping. Here's the, I mean, it looks good.
It looks good.
This looks like a good fish
Oh
sandwich.
my God, I think I've had that exact sandwich before.
These are 2 different fish sandwiches from 2 different restaurants. Legally, I do not want to say that these are the same sandwich, so I won't do that. You think that covers me? The bun feels cheap for $60.
Oh yeah.
It's good. I now know what this.
Wait, he said this was in
fish
like
sandwich
LA or
is.
something like that? I mean, I'm not surprised
Legally,
any sandwich is
I don't wanna
$16
say
in LA.
that this is the exact same sandwich, but my taste buds are saying this is the exact same sandwich. Then we decided to take every single sandwich
It's all that stimmy check inflation making it $17.
out to show them all at once. What we are looking at
I mean, can you blame them for having the price so high when there's people going around buying 9 of them?
are 9 sandwiches from 9 restaurants that all claim to be different businesses when you look at them. And I decided for science I was going to take a bite of every single fish sandwich and get
Well, what I'm expecting to happen is that it is 9 different businesses, right? Maybe they're ghost business, maybe they're just like placeholder businesses. But then those businesses are sourcing the cod sandwich from some kind of parent company on top of them, right? And so technically it is 9 different businesses, but they're just all sourcing their materials from, whichever, right? Just like how McDonald's is a franchise, right? And each of the individual locations buys their ingredients from the McDonald's parent company, right? But then they just use the McDonald's name, right? And this is Ghost Kitchen is like McDonald's, but not using the name of McDonald's, but then buying your ingredients from McDonald's.
Give a thumbs up if it tasted similar to the last one. Now, as I've aged, I don't do as well with greasy foods, specifically something like a fish or chicken sandwich. And I can't tell you the toll that this took on my body later that day. I didn't even capture it. I was tired. Things happened in the bathroom I will never speak of ever again. But I will say that my opinion was these 9 sandwiches tasted exactly the same to me. But I think it's really important to mention that this restaurant is taking up 44 slots on delivery apps. They are competing directly with small businesses, some of which are owned by families. Now, I don't know if Chibo the restaurant owns this or if Virtual Dining Concepts bought Chibo to use their name as a brand, but would you be surprised to learn that there is another Chibo within 4 miles of the one that I just showed you? And together they take up 77 restaurant slots on Uber Eats. So whether or not Chibo is its own new company or just a front for Virtual Dining Concepts, I want to take a second to talk about V.
Do you think their Chibo is doing like 35 different restaurants because they're trying to be deceiving and malicious? Or do you think they're using a bunch of different restaurants because it kind of like allocates those dishes into a particular niche, right? I mean, the ones that he showed that were serving the cod sandwich, it wasn't like a Chinese restaurant serving a cod sandwich, right? It was restaurants where it kind of fit the menu, and so they threw it in there. Because if you were to click on that restaurant, you wouldn't want to miss it, right? And they wouldn't want to not list it. So, I don't know.
VDC. Virtual Dining Concepts, or VDC, is a major ghost kitchen company. And when you go to their website, they have a collection of brands that they work with. You have Mr. Beast Burger, which we will talk about later. You have Phase Subs, which finally answers the question, can my sandwiches just be made by gamers? But as I was reading the brands, something caught my eye. NASCAR Refuel. So I clicked on it and it opened up NASCAR Refuel Wings, and you could go right to their website. So clearly, NASCAR Refuel is a NASCAR themed ghost kitchen that sells primarily bone-in wings. Now, if you go to the full menu, you can see that they offer 5 flavors. We've got barbecue, we've got honey garlic, we've got sweet chili, cake.
They do it to saturate the restaurant on the top, but is that even how the search engine is filtered? Like, if you just get a bunch of restaurants, does that just it doesn't just put you at the top of the list, does it? Doesn't the top of the list usually like the things that are the most reviewed out of everything?
Cajun and buffalo. My tummy's already rumbling. Is that a magnitude?
Or based on like distance wise, like you wouldn't have filtered, but like it would show you the restaurants that are closest to you rather than like if you just spam list of 30, 50, 100 different restaurants, it's not just gonna put you at the top.
7 earthquake in California. No. That's just my tummy for NASCAR wings. They even come in this fun little NASCAR box so you know the food's gonna get to you fast. So then I thought, if VDC,
dude, this guy doesn't have to sell it to me anymore.
Unique wing place. This place can't be that bad. By the time food arrives to your table at a restaurant, the people who have made the food have already jumped through a ton of hoops. The person who created the business already had the idea to create a restaurant, either paid their own money or got a loan from a bank to get the building rented out. They then had to hire people, make sure everybody was trained, make sure people liked the menu, cultivate a successful business, and pay the bills every month. So maybe this could be a good way to not gatekeep recipes with how much
Dude, running a restaurant is such an immense number of work. I forget the statistic, but it's like, I don't know, 60% of people, their first restaurant goes bankrupt within like, it's like your restaurant, most restaurants go bankrupt within 5 years. It's like 60, 70% or some insane number.
Or how much capital you have to open up a restaurant. Maybe this will be a great way into having people try new foods. VDC has another wing place right there called Wing Squad. Wing Squad is a buffalo wing themed ghost restaurant that serves primarily bone-in wings with flavors like barbecue, honey garlic, sweet chili, Cajun, and buffalo.
It's hot wings versus Wingstop.
Are these the exact same fucking wings? Okay, so I got NASCAR Refuel. So I was gonna immediately cut to ordering NASCAR Refuel and Wing Squad to eat them both and see if they tasted exactly the same. But when I filled out both my orders, I went ahead and ordered NASCAR Refuel. And when I tried to check out with the cart for Wing Squad, they told me that it wasn't available in my area. So now, instead of proving a point for my video, I just have NASCAR wings. The only thing I care about is if they come in the cool box. I will be so mad if they don't. Yes!
Oh, that's cool.
Here are the wings. They look pretty good to be honest.
They do look pretty good.
I'll give it to
honestly.
NASCAR.
Those are some wings. And this is a mushroom.
It's good. It's good. I never said the Ghost Kitchen food is bad. It's good. I scared the neighbor's dog. But I want to get back to VDC's website because they seem to be the leading brand in working with content creators and celebrities to create ghost franchises.
Hi, I'm Robert Earl, a fellow restaurateur and the founder of Virtual Dining Concepts.
A ghost franchise is when one of these companies utilizes virtual restaurants and ghost kitchens around the country to instantly start up a national brand. So you pretty much snap your fingers and you have a fast food company across the whole country.
These
Wait, you're telling me
brands offer you
Mr.
an
Beast
A
didn't-
to Z
Mr. Beast didn't come up with this whole design himself? He hired these guys to do it for him? No!
solution. All you have
But he also doesn't make any money off of Mr. Beast Burger.
to do is choose the brands, the great celebrities that are going to become your market partners with you.
And to get a look on how these ghost franchises start, we can look at the page on their website that advertises to creators that want to work with them. So this business model is advertised as a new way to connect with fans. Oh my god, I didn't know it was for the fans. So step one is to create your vision. They give you a more intimate and experimental way to connect with your followers. Finally, I can get intimate with Mr. Beast by shoving a Beast Burger or Carl's
Parasocialism
down my
goes hard.
gullet. Just absolutely gargling Beast-style fries. Then you work with them to create a menu. I would assume it's more so like, hey, you want to sell pizza? Do you want to sell pepperoni or sausage? Then they say to market the brand, to use your social following and platform to connect with your fans beyond merchandise. Use the food in your content. See, guys, it's about connecting to fans. This is not a soulless way to cash in on your fans by selling them food that you didn't create, okay? It's not about making money. So let's see step 4. I gotta stop getting tricked by corporate speak. I thought Mr. Beast wanted to be intimate with me. I can't believe how confusing this Ghost Kitchen stuff is as a consumer. Because a few minutes after filming this, I got an email thanking me for my order from Mr. Beast Burger. The thing is, I didn't order from Mr. Beast Burger. I'm doing that later when I talk about Mr. Beast Burger. So I looked at the address in the email and it happens to be the exact same address from where I got my NASCAR Refuel wings. So they just thanked me for ordering from a completely different restaurant. And when I looked up the address, it just gave me Universal City Walk, which is the big mall outside of Universal Studios Hollywood. It didn't even match up with one of the restaurants there. It just looked like a vague point on one of the buildings. Did they make my wings in Universal Studios? Did the Minions make my wings? It seems like VDC can't even keep track of their own virtual restaurants. But if you're a content creator or a celebrity that thought it would be a cool idea to open up your own fast food brand that doesn't inherently make you the devil. I mentioned 3 types of ghost kitchens before, and one of them is existing restaurants. Now these restaurants can be major chains or small businesses, and running these virtual restaurants out of a small business might help them keep the lights on. That additional revenue could be a lifesaver for them. The thing is, as I've been looking up stuff for this video, I would frequently get so lost trying to keep track of all the virtual restaurants. It would be hard to count how many virtual restaurants are in one location or where a virtual restaurant was located. Sometimes I would look up Mr. Beast Burgers in my area, and when I went to the street view, they just didn't exist and also didn't have an address listed. And that's when I started to think, if I'm spending all day just trying to locate certain restaurants, how the hell are they doing health inspections for these places? And that's when I stumbled on an article called "Do You Know Where Your Chicken Wings Come From?" by the Boston Globe. The article centers around the challenges that ghost kitchens have added to health inspection agencies in Massachusetts. Frequently, it seems that health inspectors in Massachusetts will find out during the health inspection that they're running multiple restaurants out of the same kitchen. Lexington's health director Joanne Bellinger even said it's like smoke and mirrors or a shell game. We licensed this particular restaurant, but on the side, they're running 6 or 7 other things. And they're constantly getting surprised by this because the article states no one knows how many such operations are running in Massachusetts or nationwide, as there is no central entity that tracks them. And when health departments can't track where food is coming from, it makes it near impossible to track where a foodborne illness starts. Some defenders of virtual kitchens might say, well, if you have a kitchen that passed a health inspection, what's the harm in adding a virtual kitchen? You already passed. But what if your new virtual restaurant menu adds an allergen that your original menu didn't have? You now need to be inspected again to make sure you're not cross-contaminating and feeding somebody something they're allergic to. And not only is the FDA struggling nationwide to keep up with this technology, in spring of 2022, Needham's health department encountered a Thai restaurant that
You know what else they're struggling with?
for repeated health violations.
You know what else they're struggling with? To approve of a certain vaccine for a certain prevalent virus that's been going around.
Then opened up as a virtual Thai restaurant under a new name. And this isn't just Massachusetts. ABC7 Chicago discovered something similar in their reporting.
But what if your food comes from a restaurant with health violations? The I-Team found restaurants with some of the most serious violations. The Buffalo Wild Wings on 513 West Taylor Street near the South Loop houses the ghost restaurant Wild Burger. The restaurant had recent failing inspections with violations including 100 fruit flies throughout the establishment. And no soap at a hand washing sink. In follow-up reports, the restaurant fixed violations and passed inspection.
It's really just a snowball with ghost kitchens.
How else am I gonna get the
This
cum off my
problem
hands, dude?
also opens up a new problem, which is major restaurant brands pretending to be smaller businesses on delivery apps to get more business from you.
Next on our list of fake-ass restaurants, you can tell. Look at the graphics. It's obvious. Super Megadilla and Thrilled Cheese. Those are both
Thrilled Cheese.
Both of these have the same address and it's IHOP.
I want to know is how the fuck am I supposed to eat that as a fucking quesadilla when it's a full-blown fucking avocado and a full-blown fucking chicken tender?
I can't believe that IHOP would do this. Surely no other major brands have done the exact same thing.
Maggiano's Italian Classics. This comes from Chili's. It's Just Wings also comes from Chili's. Tender Shack comes from Outback Steakhouse.
Jesus!
A new problem to worry about. Sometimes the virtual restaurant isn't even real, and sometimes I guess now it's Chili's. I've been researching for this video for around 2 months now, and I feel like I'm going crazy. Because anytime I'm confused or I see something
Dude, I didn't realize rebranding was so easy.
deceiving and I pursue it, I get even more confused and sometimes even more deceived. However, there is one thing that I am certain of.
Would it be worth having massive diarrhea for good food? Yes.
Every single day, I have researched or filmed or gone to
So
get
worth
food from one of these ghost kitchens. One virtual restaurant will make itself known at least once. A ghost franchise that is so popular that any YouTube-addicted 12-year-old would know the menu by heart. In this story, I'm the beauty, and this restaurant is...
I really want to try one
Mr.
of
Beast
these.
Burger is one of, if not the most popular Ghost franchise in the United States. The Ghost franchise was created by YouTube's golden boy and Elon Musk reply guy, Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast.
We will be spending 24 hours in this insane asylum.
I built 2 massive circles and put 100 boys in one and 100 girls in the other.
I am not eating any food for the next 30 days.
The reason I've waited so long to talk about Mr. Beast Burger is because it utilizes all 3 main forms of ghost kitchens, including trailers. Ghost kitchen trailers are exactly what they sound like. They're a trailer that runs multiple virtual restaurants out of it. Now, the leading company that owns these trailers seems to be Reef Global. But as I've been reading some articles about it, it seems like Reef isn't doing so hot lately. They've had a lot of big companies pull business from them. It even looks like Wendy's had a projected 500 locations set to open. But they cut that deal, and Reef later exited its Houston market and laid off 5% of its
Okay, so they're pulling back and they're laying off workers as all the mandates are getting lifted.
workforce amid low
That's
sales
kind of
and a rash
expected.
permitting and safety violations. Let me just look up what safety violations there are. Okay, so I just found this Wall Street Journal article called Ghost Kitchens Are Proving to Be a Messy Business as Reef Global Shows. The article starts by saying a few seconds after a cook turned on a...
Dude, imagine when we start having, because I know in some California cities, they're having like drones, like robots deliver the food for you. And like, imagine when we have like the flying drones and ghost kitchens working full speed, super fast, and they're just gonna be like, and they're just gonna be delivering food everywhere, every type of food. It's just, you can get everything you want from one drone from one location instantly.
Stove in a tiny mobile...
Delivered straight to your pod on a railway, like a sushi conveyor belt, just right into your little tiny pod because you're not going to own anything, and then you just grab it off and you get your little sustenance that's been frozen, or you know, God knows where it's from, and all the allergens and all the cross contaminations, because that way, if you have allergens and stuff, is there a way of doing eugenics and getting rid of people with allergies?
Kitchen in a Houston parking lot in April, a fireball erupted from the propane burners, flaring out into the center of the trailer owned by Reef Global Inc. While the cook escaped harm, she happened to open a refrigerator at the same time that shielded her from the flames. It was the second such incident at the same Houston trailer in 4 months. The first one injured a different cook as flames scorched her face and gave her... kind of a warning for this to be kind of violent language, so skip forward 10 seconds if you don't want to hear this. Gave her 3rd-degree burns on her hands that caused the skin to peel off her fingers, rendering her unable to work. Wall Street Journal. Did you hear how bad her hands got burnt? How can she work? How can she contribute to the company? A similar fireball in San Francisco injured another Reef employee in the spring, according to the former Reef managers briefed on the 3 incidents. And on top of that, there's also an insider article about leaked Reef emails, where they're talking about nearly a full year of complaints.
What we need, we need some giga high tech. We need those engineers that work for Boeing to design the super giga efficient, like aluminum shell, like 3D structure printed airplane, whatever the fuck, I don't know what the flight attendants use when they have all those crazy little compartments. We need those guys to design these trailers to be indestructible and safe.
Beast Burger, where customers were served uncooked chicken and raw burgers. This is not directly Mr. Beast's fault, and I'm sure this happens with regular fast food
That'll be expensive. Yeah, but in the long term, it'll be efficient. I promise you, in the long term, it'll be efficient. I mean, designing an airplane is expensive. The first airplanes, massively expensive. Now we fly everywhere, okay? Because in the long term, it made sense.
Franchises, but this problem is a lot.
Imagine the R&D costs high, but the potential, right? The potential is massive, right? Because food is something that everybody needs, right? There's a market for it everywhere on the planet, okay? And you could scale this if you make this to be efficient and safe. You could scale it to billions of people.
More difficult to solve when you have no real locations. And up until very recently, this business was solely run out of ghost kitchens. And in interviews, Jimmy doesn't hide that fact at all. He's actually one of the only people I see being open and honest about their business and ghost kitchens.
Is it cool to own a burger joint?
So when I first started it, this is when COVID was at its height. So we started a virtual restaurant. A lot of restaurants were laying...
It's a matter of surviving long enough to even get it and scale it. I think someone like Jimmy, who reinvests literally all of his money into... So, Mr. Beast Burger, he reinvests all the profit into marketing and advertising, right? He could make it happen. It would take someone to be as insane as him in the private sector to get something like that done.
People off. And Beast Burger, originally why we got into it, is it was like a way for restaurants to make extra money. Yeah. So if you're a mom and pop, and you know that lockdowns, you can't even serve people in your fucking restaurant, your revenue just cut in half, you could just start serving Beast Burger, and then anytime anyone within 8 miles places an order, you fulfill it, you get to keep a majority of the revenue.
Yeah.
Now that's a pretty noble motivation to opening up Mr. Beast Burger, but Jimmy just doesn't talk about the fact that they do this also out of existing restaurants that are major corporations, and the fact that they ran them out of Reef trailers.
Anyone, anywhere can just start serving Mr. Beast Burger. You just take our training course, order our ingredients and packaging, and then turn it on all the websites.
So it's the same ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it tastes the same.
And I understand what Jimmy's trying to do, but you really shouldn't make it that accessible for anyone anywhere to start serving Mr. Beast Burger to customers. Because again, I start thinking about the health inspection stuff. People all over the country, primarily kids, are eating this food. You need to have some kind of barrier for the quality of it. And so he's sort of transparent about the ghost kitchen stuff in interviews, but let's also look
Is that not why he has like the classes in the training course?
at what he actually told his fans. When the business opened in 2020, this is how it was announced to 144 million people.
I opened up the world's first free restaurant. And if that wasn't enough, I also paid people to eat at my restaurant.
Put it on a.
Yeah! I've never
Dude, Jimmy's such a master at marketing.
been in a restaurant before. Bye! And that was our last customer. If you like what you saw in this video, you too can eat Beast Burgers. I literally just opened 300 restaurants all across America. But we only serve people through delivery apps. Basically, open up whatever you use and search Mr. Beast Burger. And you can order anything from our amazing and delicious menu. And like I said, we have hundreds of locations all across America. Just open up your favorite delivery apps and search Mr. Beast Burgers.
So while this isn't a direct lie, I would have liked him to be less vague about opening 300 locations, because this is the Mr. Beast Burger that 144 million people saw, complete with its own branding and even a drive-thru. And this is the Mr. Beast Burger that I just ordered from. The small business was connected to this building, and when I went in, they didn't even realize that an Uber Eats order for Mr. Beast Burger had come through. Obviously, it appeared as their own business. There was no Mr. Beast branding anywhere. They told me it was going to be a 20-minute wait, so I went back to the car to wait with Chrissy.
Do you think if we ask them, they'll sign this?
I hope. I really hope.
When I finally went back in and was handed the bag, I noticed that it wasn't a Mr. Beast Burger bag. It was one of those regular thank you bags. Regardless, we headed home, bag in hand, bag hanging low. I got 4 items total.
I mean, with economies of scale, is anybody really surprised? Is anybody really surprised that he's using locations that aren't massively branded when nobody's expected to go into the store, and he's using bags that are also not branded because he's not a bag developer. He's not a bag manufacturer.
And ordered it for pickup, so the whole thing ran me $36.85.
Just imagine if you were running Mr. Beast Burger, you do the same thing. You would do the same thing.
They're also not in Mr. Beast.
And honestly, if we're so worried about quality control, just imagine if like a robot. Okay, do we need like a robot to like perfectly make all the burgers and then throw them into lockers and have Uber Eats deliver people with QR codes to go beep and get their locker open just so they can do some Detroit Become Human delivery style food industry?
Packaging either. So, Mr. Beast, NASCAR wings is blowing you out of the fucking water. Now, Beast-style fries are supposed to be seasoned, crinkle-cut fries loaded with caramelized onions, American cheese, pickles, mayo, ketchup, and mustard. What I got was seasoned crinkle-cut fries with cooked onions, American cheese, pickles, and ketchup. You can see right here, this is what they look like, and...
Oh my god, dude!
Flip them back over pretty well, actually. It worked out just fine. And they were average. I do think what would make this order special is the ingredients on the fries, and I didn't get all that I ordered, but this is the best that the order's gonna get, I promise you. Now, the next item on the list was supposed to be a Carl's
That picture
Deluxe,
does
which is
not
like a
look
patty
good.
melt grilled cheese. But when I pulled it
does
out,
not look
I
good
was
in the
very
picture.
confused.
Huh?
Is this the Beast Burger?
It's a Krabby
After looking
Patty.
at all of the order later, this was
What?
not
It's a Krabby Patty.
a Beast-style burger. It was not a Carl's Deluxe. It was one of their Impossible Beast-style burgers. This is what the Impossible Beast-style burger is supposed to look
It's not even like. It's not even that.
This looks like if somebody drew a burger for me. How is this real?
It's a Krabby Patty.
Now, when I opened it up, it looked really boring.
This looks unbelievably boring.
It's a boring
Surprisingly,
burger.
it also tasted really boring.
Shocker.
This tastes like a cafeteria burger.
The Impossible
It looks like
Burger
one
is
too.
supposed to be smashed, crispy Impossible patties with house seasoning, American cheese, pickles, diced white onions, mayo, ketchup, and brown mustard on a toasted bun. What I got was an Impossible patty, American cheese, shredded lettuce, and a tiny bit of ketchup.
There's no sauce on it either. There's just like a little bit
Well,
of
that
ketchup.
bun looks so fake.
The bun was way cheaper than the one looks in the photo. But also, if you examine the meat...
Okay, you know what? If you made it this far in the video, subscribe because I'm going to post a video. I'm going to order Mr. Beast Burger, and we're going to do a review on this channel. So subscribe, hit the bell, do whatever you got to do because it's coming out soon.
In the Impossible photo, it looks nothing like this. So what the hell did I just eat? Next up was the crispy chicken tender sandwich, and this one is an easy layup. Everybody knows what comes on a chicken sandwich. It's just chicken, the bun, mayo, pickles, and lettuce.
All right.
I was really hoping I would have a positive experience, but all of the ingredients just feel really, really cheap. Like, it just...
Wait, where?
This doesn't look
What?
like a satisfying chicken sandwich. I don't know.
Is that bad, huh?
Dry.
What I got was the chicken tender, some shredded lettuce, and a tiny bit of ketchup.
At least McDonald's is very consistent. I honestly expected better from the Mr. Beast Burger because I mean, we'll just have to see when I order it to see if it looks like that or if it looks like it is in the marketing.
Lastly, we had the main event. The very item that carries the name of this Ghost franchise. The Beast Style Burger. And man, this one kind of pissed me off because I ate it.
Oh
and
my
while I've been
God.
editing it, I noticed that the camera got a better angle of the meat than I did. Man, this is supposed to be a smash burger. What the hell is this? Now, when it comes to Mr. Beast Burger, do I think that Jimmy was intentionally trying to mislead people in his video? Or that he ever wanted to serve people...
I mean, it's no shocker to me that when you're setting up ghost kitchens and the people that are setting up going through the training, the people that are going through the training course, they just want to get it over with as soon as possible. And if nobody's holding them accountable, then they can just make the burger as shit as they want it to be because it doesn't really matter to them.
Uncooked beef. No, of course not. Jimmy is a little bit younger than me. I think he's like 24, but he's also CEO brains.
It's not like they're getting paid extra to like sell a bunch of beast burgers, right? I highly doubt they're getting their interests are being aligned with Beast Burger and that they want and that they're going to push Beast Burger because Beast Burger is going to push them and they're both going to make a bunch more money together. I highly doubt that the incentives are aligned like that.
So I'm pretty sure he doesn't give much thought to any...
Especially now that the mandates are getting lifted, I bet a lot of these ghost kitchens are getting hit really hard. And because of that, they're not caring about quality control.
But making the
They're just kind of giving
videos
up
in the world and growing his company. However, I will say that the quality of that food was really bad. That was probably, no exaggeration, the blandest fast food I've ever had in my entire life. So I think my one piece of advice to Mr. Beast that he's not going to listen to because I have less subscribers than him is just give a little bit more thought into the businesses that you're running because the ghost kitchen stuff is really like the Wild West of food. And there are a lot of really young, impressionable people watching what you do, so you just got to be a little bit careful with the businesses that you run. But that really got me thinking about the psychology of the ghost kitchen business. It really seems that a large form of this business is based on deception. And I started to wonder, how easy would it be to trick people into eating food that they've already had, but make them think that it's a brand new restaurant? It seems to happen every single day. We saw it with IHOP and Chili's earlier. So to test this out, I decided to pay thousands of dollars
No way.
to do a real, legitimate focus group in Los Angeles. Now, to do this, I would need my own virtual
no way.
restaurant with its own branding. My name is Eddie Burback,
That's so
so
cool.
let's go with something like Eddie's Burgers or Burback's Burgers. Burgerback.
Burgerback.
A fake logo to put on the packaging of the food. So I'm pretty new to graphic design, but I worked like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days on this logo. I think I did a really great job. There actually might be a path for me in graphic design and not on YouTube anymore. So I'm sorry, I'm just very proud of it. As the group entered the room, I realized that I had put up thousands of dollars
Bareback
on the entire
burgers.
point I'm trying to make on the results of this focus group. So my nerves were high.
Hi everyone. Thank you all for coming in today. My name is Jack, and we're holding this group on behalf of an exciting new fast food restaurant, Burgerback.
Now, before they tasted the burgers,
Bareback
I'll be honest, I was a
burgers.
little vain, and I added a question to see how much people would like my logo.
So, before you is the official Burgerback logo, and I want to ask you all, what are your initial thoughts about the logo?
It's lame.
It's
Damn.
lame.
You said
Damn.
No, we want that.
it's kind of bland. I would
Bland, okay.
Reminds me of The Simpsons. Oh, that's
Simpsons.
good.
Interesting.
I guess they just don't have an eye for
They don't have
logos.
an eye for
I guess they're
art.
just wrong. But it was finally time to taste the burgers. So Burger A was a Carl's Jr.
What is that?
Famous Star, and Burger B was one that we picked up from a local restaurant down the street. Both burgers had the same ingredients and were repackaged under the Burger Back logo. So we started by bringing Burger A out to the group. One of them compared it to a Burger King burger, and another person even said this.
Kind of reminds me of a Famous Star from like Carl's Jr.
I don't see any song.
You said what from Carl's Jr.?
The Famous Star.
Oh yeah, you're
This guy knows his
So he
fast
said it
food.
reminded him of a Carl's Jr. Famous Star, but he didn't say that it was a Carl's Jr. Famous Star. And then Burger B from LA Tavern was brought out to the group. It was immediately clear that they liked this burger much more than the last.
I feel like with the bread on this one, it's a better bite.
They thought the Carl's Jr. burger was bland, but the one from the local restaurant
Dude,
seemed
this
to be
guy has the Tyler One hair. Look, he's got the headset skull shape. Can you see that?
to be a hit. After tasting both burgers, we asked the group to identify which one they thought was a fast food burger and which one they thought came from a local restaurant.
One was fast food.
Yep.
I think.
Almost fast food, and you think this one is the family owned?
Just feels more homemade.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
To my surprise, they identified the Carl's Jr. burger as a fast food burger.
Dang, that guy
and the
nomin,
burger
dude.
from LA Tavern down the street as
He's
a local
eating.
family-owned restaurant burger. But I don't understand. IHOP and Chili's have been doing this. I thought this was easy to trick people. So we held a second group to
No,
see if
it's
the
not.
results
It's
would be
not
the
easy to
same,
trick people.
testing out two things. One, if they could identify the burger like the first group, and two, if one of them would finally be honest and say they liked my logo.
You can't fake real.
Go.
And I just wanted to ask your honest opinion. What do you think about the logo?
Honestly, basic.
Basic? Okay.
I don't get the name of it. I need more
Okay.
context. All I think is bar back. Like when it was like what's
Bareback, baby.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it's a focus group, so you know they're gonna give their honest opinion, and sometimes people's honest opinions can be wrong or dumb or bad and stupid and hurtful and mean. And after that, the focus group went the exact same as the one before it. They all unanimously voted A for fast food and B for local.
So the second one I think is from the local.
Is that kind of everyone's thought here?
So even though nobody
Dude, he
stopped
should have had them like. He should have had them do their answers on like a piece of paper so that they didn't like influence each other and be like, oh, they're saying that A is fast food, then I'm gonna say A is fast food too because I don't want to stand out. You know what I mean?
during the taste test and said, I think this is a Carl's Jr. burger. I think you're lying to me. I may have wasted thousands of dollars in disproving my own point. It seems that ghost kitchens aren't that deceiving because people can tell the difference between what's a fast food burger and what's a local chain burger, which is a huge bummer because I feel like I put the whole point of the video on this focus group and now I feel like I've been proven wrong.
But wait.
Or I lied. Because while Burger A is a famous star from Carl's Jr., LA Tavern is not a real restaurant. In fact, that photo you saw was a random building that I picked off of Street View. And the focus group did not correctly vote between what was a local restaurant burger and what was a fast food burger because Burger B was Jack in the Box this whole time. Both focus groups tasted 2 fast food burgers and incorrectly said that one was from a local restaurant. So I think it's pretty clear
Got
that I made
him.
everyone in that focus group look dumb. Now, obviously, I'm joking because they aren't dumb. I lied to the people in that focus group about the food they were eating, and they believed me. And I also lied to you about the food I was feeding them, and you believed me. Because it is not a person's
Yeah, but I
job
didn't taste
to
it.
for food.
You put 2 burgers in front of me, I'd speak some mad facts right now. I'd give you the most honest review ever.
To investigate whether they're being lied to or not. I have spent the first part of this year ordering food and then spending hours trying to figure out how it was made and what the story behind it was. It would be completely normal for a focus group to be held to test which burger tastes better from a company. You know what's not normal? Being part of a focus group where you're being lied to by a YouTuber who's trying to prove a point. Nobody would think that's what was happening. Much like if I went onto a delivery app and tried to order a burger from a local place, it would be insane for me to
They have good
randomly
ratings.
assume that
Look at that, 2,000 plus ratings. See that? Look, 181 ratings, and then they have here, boom, 2,000 plus ratings from It's Just Wings, and they love it. They're eating that shit up.
Randomly assume
From
that it's
Chili's.
Chili's, or that it's from one building that has 44 other restaurants running out of it, or that it's from some weird mobile trailer that has a bunch of explosions burning their employees. And I don't have.
Dude, I love food trucks, man. I don't care. All the food trucks I eat at, fire, bro. Fire. A few of them catch on fire, literally. I mean, if that's the price we got to pay for food trucks, fucking good as fuck, man.
A solution to this problem. I mean, what do I know? I'm a comedian on YouTube. That's like the lowest job in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, people. Yeah, some people burn their hands, okay? Now we gotta develop Wall-E, okay? We gotta have some bots. Beep, beep, beep. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, beep, beep. And give me my food. And oh my god, I'd be living the life.
Society. Now, I don't think
The
those
fucking
will
drone, right into my window, dude.
happen, but I think at the very least, delivery apps should add some kind of tag where you can see what's a virtual restaurant and what's a real brick and mortar place. Because if you're supporting a restaurant with your dollar to get some food in return.
Okay, that is a fair compromise, I think. That is not difficult to do at all.
The very least they can do is.
And then, you know what? At least the consumers can make their own judgments and have more information when they make that judgment, right? Because honestly, like, I'll order from both and I'll make my own judgments. And if I like the virtual stuff, I'll still order the virtual stuff, right?
You know where that food.
But if I don't, at least I know.
Is coming from. Especially if it's like an IHOP. Or a Chili's.
Fucking IHOP.
Or one of those mobile trailers in a Houston parking lot. Dude, I ordered tacos and I looked up the street view on Google and it was the fucking Winnebago from Breaking Bad.
Yo, that's W video. Thank you for that. Alright, the link is in the chat. Go check it out. It's actually W video. Did a good job with that one. I remember when merch used to be a hoodie or maybe a phone case if you were extra fancy. Now we're out here dropping burgers. I want to drop a burger one day, dude.